Hey, it's me, the guy on YouTube Shorts that makes the Digital Circus pipe cleaner figures. I just hosted a Q&A, and today I'm going to answer the questions. So, let's get started. Okay, our first question comes from @NasTrain, and he says, I have 3 questions. Question 1, when did you start YouTube? Question 2, what inspired you to make pipe cleaner figures? Question 3, can you make a figure of my BFD IOC? Well, to answer your first question, I started YouTube in 2020. No, my bad. I started YouTube in 2019 on my channel Think Tractions. Then at around 2020, the channel got deleted, and so then I started Singletoons in 2020. To answer your second question, what inspired you to make pipe cleaner figures? Well, I've been making stuff since I was like 5. One of my first projects was this paper bird. I'll show a picture of it on screen. And my mom owns a stationery business, Dara Lorraine Stationery on Etsy if you want to buy some. And she would always give me her paper scraps. And I would just make stuff out of them with paper and Scotch tape. And over the years, I've just accumulated other ways of making stuff. So, I know how to sew plushies. The camera's messed up. I'm sorry. I know how to sew plushies, I can needle felt, I can work with power tools. It's like, I just know how to make stuff. And eventually I started with pipe cleaners because, they're just good and you can bend them into stuff. And yeah, so question 3, and can you make a figure of me, and can it be my BFD IOC? Okay, I'm not going to answer that question yet because I have a plan of something in the works, so, you'll figure that out, in the future. Okay, our next question comes from @MasculineMonkeys55, and he says, when will you make Five Nights at Freddy's pipe cleaner creations? If you do, can you please make Springtrap? I will probably eventually make FNAF, and I'm pretty sure you're saying that because I made a poll a while back saying what I should make, and I'm pretty sure FNAF won. And, yeah, I can make FNAF at some point, but I'd like to do more BFDI first. Okay, our next question comes from Maya Locklear, and they say, who is your favorite music artist? Mine is Stomach Book, and I really like this song, and I like that one song I like is Anarchy. Well, I do not have a single favorite music artist because I don't really view music like that. I mostly like songs. I'm actually like a collector whenever it comes to music. But I can say my favorite, voices in music, but, there are some artists that I like the sound of, but I don't like all of their music, if that makes sense. So my favorite voices are John Michael Howell, Caden McKay, I love Michael Bublé, and, the 8-Bit Big Band. They're really good. From @error-s9w, I am the first comment. And who is the hardest character that you made out of pipe cleaners? Ooh, yeesh. That is a hard question. The hardest character that I made out of pipe cleaners, there's a few of them that were really tricky. Kane was really hard. And so was Pomni. Pomni was also really tricky. But I think the hardest character that I made was actually Zooble. So I'm gonna go with Zooble for that one. Okay, our next question is from @Garfield I don't know. Says, so since you do shows like Digital Circus and BFDI, will you be making games like Poppy Playtime, FNAF, and more out of pipe cleaners? Well, maybe FNAF at some point, but probably not Poppy Playtime, because I don't really care about that series. This next one is from @PomniCow, and she says, what's your favorite Digital Circus character? What's your favorite animal? And who is your favorite YouTuber? Okay, well, to answer your first question, my favorite Digital Circus character is Kaufmo, and my favorite NPC is Gummy Goo. And my favorite animal, I love penguins, but I also love dogs. And my favorite YouTuber, I really like Microwave Society, and Matt Rose, he's really funny. And BFDI and Inanimate Insanity, of course, but I more view them as TV shows. I don't really view them as just plain YouTubers. So I'm gonna go with Microwave Society for that one. From @AJSG, a bunch of letters. Your favorite show and favorite character from that show? Well, my favorite show is Inanimate Insanity, and I think that my favorite character is probably I do love OJ. And I don't know. I'm just gonna go with OJ for now because I don't know. This next question is from at Marlon De La Cruz, and they say, "Can you make another Ragatha?" Honestly, I really want to because my current Ragatha. Hang on, I'm trying to find her. Here she is. My current Ragatha is really, really bad, and it accidentally looked like she's really buff, and her arm is like chewed up, and just literally like look at those legs. That's just awful. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I can make another Ragatha at some point. This next question is from at Kulani Y70, and they say, will you ever have a Trevor Harrison series where you make pipe cleaners or something like that? I don't know what Trevor Harrison is. I googled it and got like a bunch of different results, so I don't know. So I'm just gonna say no. This next question is from at James Blaine Castle, and they say, what's your favorite color and drink? Mine is purple. Well, my favorite color is green, and my favorite drink is probably Mountain Dew, but my mom makes really good sweet tea, so I'm gonna go with that too. This next question is from Acid Kaijus _official, and they say, are you ever going to make OCs out of pipe cleaners? Well, in the sense of like, you guys would comment, make my OC, and then I'd go to your channel, find your OC, and then make it. No, I don't think I want to do that because I don't have any like attachment. But at some point, I do want to do something similar, but I'm just gonna go with no for now. This next question is from at Super Meme Guardian, and they say, will you ever make Poppy Playtime or Has Been Hotel and pipe cleaner art? Well, never Has Been Hotel in a million years. I'm a Christian, and that show is like really against like my beliefs, and I don't think that show is like. I just don't like Has Been Hotel. And I'm gonna go with no on that one. Maybe Poppy Playtime, but I'm not really into that. Like, I'm not really into Poppy Playtime as like a game, so I'm just gonna go with no to both of those. Okay, this next one is also from Pomni Cal, and she says, what is your favorite song, and what is one thing you want to tell your fans? Okay, my favorite song, I don't know, I have a lot, but my favorite song since I was a kid is probably You Signed a Contract by Fandroid, but I also love Passing Through. I don't know. That's a really hard question for me. So I'm just gonna go with Santa Baby by Michael Bublé. What's one thing I want to tell my fans? Well, I've got a few things I want to say to y'all. One of them is Jesus loves you just the way you are. And thank you for supporting me and with every weird content that I do. Because I'm like, I went from animation to gaming to pipe cleaner stuff and now I just post whatever I want. And thank you for being fans of that. And thank you for tagging me whenever you make your own pipe cleaner figures. I love to see it. And yeah, I'm glad I could be an inspiration to y'all to make your own stuff. So yeah, thank you. So Jesus loves you. Thank you and good job. This next question is also from at Super Meme Guardian Guy, and they say, if you could choose between two, who would you choose, Pencil or Leafy? If you're referring to BFDI, I don't really know what you mean by that. Like, which one, I don't know if you're saying which one do I like more, or which one would I rather make out of pipe cleaners. It's like, that's really not clear. But which one I would rather make, I'm probably gonna go with Pencil. But, which character do I like more? I really don't like either of them. So, I'm just gonna say Pencil, because, yeah, but I don't know. It's really not clear. This next question is from at Cuphead Superstars. Love the name, by the way. And they say, can you make, they said, what's your favorite game? My favorite game is Minecraft, and I have a realm with a bunch of my friends, and we've been playing it for 3,000 in-game days. I can show a clip of it right now. Yeah. I love Minecraft, but I also love Cuphead, and I loved Rec Room for a while until they shut it down. So I'm gonna go with Minecraft, Cuphead, Terraria, and that's a hard one. That's a hard one. I'm just gonna go with Minecraft. What up, Editing Yuri here. I didn't even think to say Mario Maker. That or Tomodachi Life, so throw those in there too. This next question comes from Kimberly Villarreal, and make murder drones out of pipe cleaners. I like murder drones. I suppose I could. They're just kind of all the same design, really. It's like they're all pretty much the same. They just have different colored eyes at its like most basic extent. So there's not a lot of like variation for me to work with. I guess I could make murder drones at some point, but yeah. Okay, this next comment is from @Lucas Marino. Oh yeah, Lucas Marino, dude, this kid's awesome. He's a really big fan. Okay, he says, so I had a YouTube channel called Plush Dude, and it got deleted, and it got deleted. I commented, are you gonna make the rest of your OCs out of pipe cleaners? And so I have a new channel called Plush Dude 2.0, and I posted pipe cleaner figures, and you are my idol. Okay, that was really sweet. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. But to answer your question, will I make my OCs out of pipe cleaners? I mean, if y'all want me to, I have a bunch of OCs, like my characters, like from my show, if that's what you're talking about. Because, like, I would love to make, like, my characters, like, Tyson, Mallow, Mr. Top Hat, all of them. I'd love to make them. And then I could make the Singleton's Chronicles, but like this, instead of with pipe cleaners. I'm sorry, like this, instead of animated. So, like, that would be fun. Next question from @Cuphead Superstars. How do you do it or make them? I don't really know what you're referring to. Like, how do I do it? Okay, I'm guessing you're saying, like, how do I make pipe cleaner figures? So, this goes back to just my autism in the end, because with me, I think in 3D, and my autism kind of helps me do that. So, like, I can think, I can map out in my head, like, 3D planes. And, like, whenever I make plushies, I can look at, like, a random object and see how it's built out of, like, simple objects. It's, like, made out of simple shapes. Because at its basic extent, everything is made out of basic geometric shapes. So, like, I know how to make a cube and a pyramid and a prism and a sphere and, like, those simple shapes out of felt, and then sew them into that shape and then just put it together and it just works. And people always ask me, how do you do that? It's like, how do you make stuff without a pattern? I'm like, I don't know. I just look at something and then know how to make it. I know that sounds, like, boastful, but that's just how I work. Like, I can look at something and then know how to recreate it. Not like with circuitry and stuff. Like if I looked at a computer, I wouldn't just know how to make it. But I could probably make one out of cardboard and stuff like that. But with pipe cleaners, at its most basic extent, I take pipe cleaners and then I bend them into the shape that I want, and then I use glue. I don't know how to explain it. I just do it. It's like those ants that live in the rainforest. And whenever there's like a bunch of water, they use their own bodies to make a bridge. Nobody knows how they know how to do it. They just know how to do it. This next question is from @SuperMemeGuardianGuy, and it says, did you know that the tragic multi-decade story of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise centers on two business partners, William Afton and Henry... Okay, so this dude basically just wrote the entire FNAF lore, and to answer it, yes, I do. This next question is from Mini-Chris, 949, and he says, did you quit animation? Yes and no, because the way I work, it's the autism thing again, and the way I see it, there's like this giant, like, spinny wheel. You know those wheels that you spin and then it lands on something? I have this wheel in my head, and it has every single hobby that I know how to do on there, and basically every Sunday, it spins, and then whatever it lands on is my hobby for that week, and it rarely lands on animation. So, like, you know how the Singleton's Chronicles and a few of those animations were all posted in, like, a matter of, like, 3 weeks? That's why. I was on pipe cleaners last week. I mean, like, whenever I made all the object show ones, I made most of those in the same day, and I just had them on scheduled uploading. And I haven't made any pipe cleaner things in a while, because that's not what I'm on right now. I'm on Lego Pirates right now. So, yeah. So did I quit animation? No. But it's also because the app that I use to animate Flip-A-Clip is awful, and it has so many problems. So I actually am not going to use Flip a Clip anymore, and I downloaded ToonSquid, and it's a lot to learn. So I still have to learn all of ToonSquid, and you know, like that sort of thing. So did I quit animation? No. So yeah, that's all the questions. Thank you for commenting, and thank you for subscribing. Happy 3,000 subscribers to me, and yeah, I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.